Good morning, everyone. This is Linda Talaferro from the T, The Extra Effort, where I help people with their career stallers, which is what I'm going to talk about today, and shifting the paradigm, getting unstuck, and changing the trajectory of your career. We focus on executive presence and all the components that you need to allow you to get a seat at the table. So I mentioned talking about a staller today, and I've talked about this in the past, but I wanted to revisit it because I'm getting a lot of questions in my Facebook page and some DMs around this. So people are still struggling with the fear of failure, really being conscious, unfortunately conscious, about what others think, how they react and handle mistakes, and believing that that's why they are not at the next level in their career. So I'm going to talk briefly about it. This is going to be a quick tip for the day, and I want to remind you at the bottom of my of this video is a link to join my support group. So if you find yourself continuing to struggle with fear of failure, there's a group of us on my private support group page that support each other and work through these types of issues. So I invite you to join us at the Seat at the Table, which is the name of that support group. So getting back to the fear of failure, what exactly is fear when we think about it? We all have had that in our careers. I know I have early on. And what I had to learn real quickly is that and I actually got this definition from someone else early in my career, and I held on to it through the years. So fear is false expectations appearing real. They truly are false expectations appearing real. And we tend to, they appear real to us because of how we magnify them. Frankly, and this actually applies to not just your career, but how you handle issues in general in life. And I had another video that I posted about how our personal lives impact our career. So how we approach mistakes in general in our life is how we show up at work when we make mistakes. So, I have found that when we make a mistake, it's actually an opportunity for us to grow and learn. 9 times out of 10, we are our own self-critics. We're the worst critics of every single thing we do. People around us generally are not trying to wait until you fail or till you make a mistake, point it out to you and say, see, I knew you weren't capable. I knew you weren't good enough. 9 times out of 10, that's not how it works. But because we are not confident, we're not self-assured, we haven't yet gotten comfortable in our own skin, any little slight hiccup that we make, any little slight false move, wrong decision, mistakes or failure, which is that other word that's big, we take that and it all becomes immediately, oh, I can't go on, the world has come to an end. Immediately we find that we can't move on from that we believe everybody else around us has noticed it and hung their hat on that and have decided, therefore, you're no longer good enough. When 9 times out of 10, as I mentioned earlier, we're doing it to ourselves. We exacerbate it, we highlight it, we let it cripple us, rather than doing the most important thing, which is my major tip, learning from it. There is not a perfect person that I have met to date. I've not met one, irrespective of what's on their title and their business card. I haven't met a perfect person. I haven't met anyone that hasn't made a mistake, a few of them, 4 or 5 of them for that matter. I know your girl right here, been in the business for over 30 years, probably lost count at the number of mistakes, bad decisions, missed analysis that I made. The difference was that I learned early on, it's how you come back from that. How do you take a wrong interpretation of data? How do you take a probably misstep with someone you're managing? How do you take a mistake you made during a presentation? How do you take that? Immediately, how do you handle it when it happens? And then how do you take it and learn from it so that the next time you're even stronger, you're even better in whatever arena that mistake or that failure took place in? Or are you then further with your head down, further hiding and not growing and creating your own career stallers, which the more often you do it, Then it becomes apparent. Then people start to notice it because you have highlighted it and put it out there for everyone else to see. You have demonstrated that, yeah, you're right. In case you weren't thinking it, I'm going to help you think it. Yes, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that next level. When your boss has made the mistakes, presidents in your organization, other people with different levels, even people at your level and below, have made some mistakes in their career. The difference is they've made it up that ladder because they've learned from it. They've allowed it to be a career booster. They've allowed it to become a career booster rather than a career staller. They've bridged the gap of whatever knowledge that they didn't have. Maybe they reached out to someone else who was an expert in that field and always showed up strongly and learned from them. They weren't afraid to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm not really good at this and I need to get a little bit better, or I need to sharpen my saw or my skill set here so I can become stronger. They weren't afraid to ask for help. Weren't afraid to raise their hand and said, I need more. I need more. I need more exposure. I need to learn more. So the most important thing is how you internalize it, how you show up after that mistake takes place, after that failure takes place. And I would implore you to change your language after that opportunity shows up. Rather than looking at it as a failure or a mistake, that opportunity that showed up for you to grow and for you to learn more. You start changing your mentality and how you look at failures and mistakes and look at them as opportunities. I don't even say strengths and weaknesses anymore. I say strengths and opportunities. I've changed that language in my vocabulary a long time ago. So it's my tip for you today is you can change that whole paradigm of fear being a career staller. You can control that by how you look at these opportunities for growth and how you then act to make sure you bridge the gap for growth, and then how you show up in your excellence and in your strength and in your confidence so the rest of the community around you sees what they thought they saw, and that's a leader in you. It's all about how you stand up and how you show up. So let's focus starting today on Thursday, April 19th, on my Let's Talk Thursday, which is usually my subject on my private page. And let's start today with shifting our mentality from fear of failures to looking for opportunities for improvement, and how we're going to change this career staller, which is pretty common for all of us early on and tends to plague us throughout, but shift that paradigm, script the flip, right? Shift that paradigm and take that career staller into a career booster. As I said earlier, you want more information, you want more support on your corporate ladder as you're working through this fear of failure and switching it to opportunities. Click on that link below this video and join my private support group. I'm there on quite often to provide support and tips, and you're going to have a community of people that are working through some of the same issues you are that can support you through this. All right, have a good rest of your day and a good rest of the week.